All right, so the last team in this Southwest Division, San Antonio Spurs, the additions are they drafted, Vassell and Trey Jones. They lost Bryn Forbes and Marco Bellinelli, and they re-signed Jakob Podol and Drew Eubanks. Why don't you give your opinion on the Spurs?
Is this the only team in the NBA that literally did not sign a free agent?
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing? Like,
I have no clue.
Do they think this is a winning roster? Because it wasn't last year,
right?
And it's not now with Devin Vassell. Whether he's good or not, I don't know. But this is not a playoff team.
Are you a fan of DeJounte Murray?
Sure, but what's he going to do? Score 12 a game?
I mean, did he come back from injury last year? Or like
I think he did, but
he played most of the season, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean he's good, sure, but what's he gonna do? They're not gonna make the playoffs. This is Aldridge his good days are behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a 30-point game guy. He's never gonna put up 30 anymore. DeRozan is what he is. There's a reason Toronto couldn't win with him.
Right.
And that's it. I mean, who else do you have? Derek White?
I like Derek White, but yeah, I think I don't understand what they're doing.
I mean, Pirtle's okay. He's okay, but this is not Trey Lyles. This is not a good roster.
Oh gosh.
I'll just call it now. 32 and 49, 32 and 50.
50?
Whatever. Yeah.
I'll say Popovich gets them over that 50 loss, but yeah, they're going to go 36 and 46.
He's not. Let me just say this real quick. I think Popovich is severely overrated. And I'm going to say this for one reason. The guy had Tim Duncan. All right, well, let's even go further back than that. He had David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And Ginobili back then. Well, actually, back then he had Sean Elliott, who was a great player. Well, good player. Then David Robinson retires. He has Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker for how many years together?
Yeah, but he also groomed Ginobili and Parker, though. Wouldn't you say?
I'm not buying it for one reason. He's not going to win now. Now that his team stinks, he's not. All of a sudden, now he can't win.
Yeah, I just think but you got to understand too. I mean, he's been coaching since the 90s. I mean,
but
that's a long time for a coach.
It's like Phil Jackson. He never had a bad team.
Well,
ever.
They were the first team to really, like, when I remember watching them, like, they were the first team to, like, really emphasize ball movement and, open shot, like super ball movement.
Fair enough.
That's fair. They were, but now every team does that. So he's not standing out anymore. I think he's a little too old school for this new style, and that's why
I also think.
But I still think he's a good coach. Oh, he is. I can't stand it. I can't stand how he acts.
Yeah. And his shtick with the halftime interviews, that shit's just not funny anymore. It ran its course.
Right. It did.
Just be normal now, dude. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think he's. I mean, look at the teams they beat, though. They beat the Kobe Lakers, LeBron Heat. I don't know. I still think he's a top coach, but I think he's a little past his prime. I think it's time to hang it up.
You know what? I left out.
I think they got to go in a different. Yeah, he did, but he was also another guy that they drafted him.
Yeah, but
not that high.
Look what he turned out to be. He didn't. Okay, maybe they molded him, but he would have been a superstar either way.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
you would think.
Maybe letting my personal feelings get in the way.
I don't know.
So.
I can't stand him.
But yeah, I can't stand him or Steve Kerr. I can't stand them.
Politics aside, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. There it is.
Well, you know what? Maybe politics aside, because I don't like arrogance, and I think they're both arrogant.
Yeah, that's true.
Hate cockiness, and Steve Kerr's done nothing to me to prove he's any kind of good coach. Nothing.
Well, he's better than Mark Jackson, at least.
How do you know? They ran Mark Jackson off 1 year too soon.
Yeah,
Give
but
Mark
you
give Mark
remember how
Jackson
many?
Kevin Durant, and let's see what he would have
Well,
done.
but they still won it without Kevin Durant though. The first year,
That is true.
you
That's
know,
true. Yeah.
and they had the same players the year before.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So
It's true, but they also got Steph got a year older, Clay got a year older.
yeah, that's true. I just think Mark Jackson wouldn't have opened up that offense like Kerr did. Remember? That was the whole
Fair
thing.
enough.
He didn't like them shooting those threes.
Fair enough, but okay.
For
I
yeah,
think the Spurs will suck.
yeah. I'll say 36 and 46, but
That's suck worthy.
yeah, it's not good. It's
No.
not like I'm saying they're going to be good. All right, so that's the Southwest Division. All right, let's move on. Let's stay in the West. Let's go to the Pacific because this is an interesting division here. Um. All right, so we got first team up here on the Pacific. We got the Denver Nuggets. Let's talk about this team. The notable additions, they got Facundo Campazzo, Michael Green,
Oh,
Zeke
Facundo
Najee,
Campazzo.
RJ Hampton, Isaiah Hartenstein. They lost Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, Torrey Craig, and they did re-sign Paul Millsap, though. I like the Nuggets. I've been hearing some really good stuff about this Campazzo.
Yeah,
They
you gotta.
did.
First of all, you
Yeah.
need to put some respect on his first name because you butchered
Oh, I'm sure I did.
it.
What is it? You let me know.
Facundo, only because I watched him in the Olympics a few years ago, and this kid can ball, man. I don't know how it will
Facundo.
translate to the NBA.
Yeah.
Facundo Campazzo. I don't know how it will translate to the NBA, but he can ball. At
So it's
least in
Fasumbo Campazzo, even though he's not
Facundo.
Italian, though, right? He's
No, I think
Argentinian. Is he from Argentina?
no, yeah, he's Argentinian. He's
Okay.
Argentinian. He played with Ginobili in the Olympics that I watched. So
Yes. Okay.
yeah, and he ran the point. Gorgeous. I mean, if you go watch this guy's tapes, man, the passes he makes, they're unreal. Sick. Just sick passes. But, maybe he turns out to be like Raul Neto. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. You're putting a lot of hype on him, so now I'm really going to be laser focused to see this guy.
But I just took it back by comparing him to Neto.
Okay.
So I took it down a notch. Neto's a bum.
Okay. Who's that last guy that I had all that hype that was on the Clippers? You remember who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Teodosic. But
yes,
he also played with Ginobili and Campazzo. But Teodosic, he's old, man. By the time he got to the league, he was old. That's not.
What wasn't he 30, 31? I thought 32.
But that's not.
Maybe?
I mean, NBA.
Yeah,
That's not exactly young. But
no.
And plus, he played for years since he was 17 in Europe. So
yeah, he had a lot of miles on the tires.
Yeah, Campazzo's still young, man. So
and who's that? Pre the guy on the Knicks, Priodosic. Oh gosh, Pablo Prigioni.
He was an old
man. He came over when he was like
man.
37.
Yeah, no, that was stupid.
He was.
That was dumb.
Really,
that made no sense.
Right. But Campazzo, though, what is he, 20? He's 29, so he's not exactly...
Is he 29?
I believe I saw he's 29. Yeah.
I watched those that was long ago. Man.
Yeah, I think he's 29, yeah.
Is he
But, I mean, 29, you should still be in your relative prime, though.
Let's see. Did he do anything in the preseason? Let's see if he got any even minutes. See if he even. I mean, I know
Mike Malone was talking him up, but
doesn't look like he really played. I think he got 24 minutes in the first game, but that's it. He didn't play after that, so looks like he won't even be part of the rotation. Glad I talked him up.
I mean, you got Jokic.
I don't like Mike Malone. Since we're talking about Denver, I don't like Mike Malone, and I don't think he's a good coach. And I think he's the reason why this team will not win anything of note.
I give them credit. I mean, they did get to the Western Conference Final last year.
But
they did
good.
beat. They're good. He's
gotten a good team.
he's gotten further every year. So I'm going to give
So,
him slack there.
God, I can't. I don't think
But
he's
they're
good.
not. You think they're championship team right
He's to
now?
me a guy like okay. I don't know if you remember when Brian Shaw coached for a couple years, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he was all about like, oh, let me bench my guys just to teach them like this is the NBA. If guys need to be taught a lesson, like do that shit in the locker room or something. Like we're all about winning now. It's not time to teach lessons anymore. So benching Michael Porter Jr. for a fucking 3 quarters or whatever just to teach the kid like I'm not with that. And
Yeah.
I think that's what he's. I don't like coaches that try to make the game about themselves, and
Yeah.
that's what Mike Malone. That's the vibe I get from Mike Malone. But this team is fucking good, man. They
I
have a
think
good
they lost a
roster.
lot of defense though. Losing Torrey Craig and Jeremy Grant,
Yeah, but
that's going to hurt.
Ball may get some minutes now,
Yeah, that's true. Um,
and and um, well, that may be it actually.
well, I like Will Barton. Um,
Well, who
he's a good
starts?
defensive player.
Will Barton or Michael Porter? I think Will Barton
They
starts.
had Will Barton starting, and then they had Porter coming off the bench again.
So you got that's okay. So you got
Yeah.
Porter, Ball, and maybe Monty Morris and Hartenstein off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that bench needs some.
they did get J. Michael Green. Michael
Oh,
Green. I
okay.
mean,
He
that's
must
not
be
a
hurt
bad
right now.
pickup.
No, that's solid.
Yeah. Yeah. RJ Hampton's interesting. Denver, I'll give them credit, man. They're taking the best player in the draft. I mean, when they got Michael Porter, who fell all the way to them, that to me that was huge for them.
All right, what do you give them? What are you going? What are you
I'll say
going with their record?
55-27.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna go.
I don't think that's far off from them though.
I'm gonna go. There's a big difference between 49 and 50. I'm gonna go 50 and 32.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to see them take the next jump and go to the finals, but they got worked. Well, they were in some close games with the Lakers. There's no question, but still, not close enough. So
Nah. Plus Jamal Murray.
he was
Gave it,
amazing in those.
but once he reached the Lakers, he kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah, a little bit. He had some great performances along the way, though. All right, next team in the
We didn't
Pacific
even mention
Division.
Jokic. I mean, we got to say, shout out Jokic,
Oh yeah, Jokic is
perennial All
ridiculous.
Star.
Yeah, Jokic is
Okay.
ridiculous. I mean, I was always thinking Porter Jr. could be that third star they need,
And
but
he will be.
I hope so.
When Mike Malone moves on.
Yeah, that's
Telling you,
you might be
got it out
right.
for him. He's got it out for him. There's absolutely, and I don't know if you remember the turmoil they had last year when Porter spoke out against Mike Malone.
Yeah, I do remember that.
He
And then
wasn't
they
getting
won the
ball
next
enough,
3 games.
and he was sick of Murray and Jokic running a pick and roll every single play, and I don't blame him. The
Yep.
guy, Michael Porter Jr. is a 25-point per game scorer. He will be.
Yeah, they got to unleash him.
He needs to be unleashed, and so does
Yep.
Bol.
Yep.
But anyway, go ahead.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. Next team in the Pacific, Minnesota Timberwolves. Notable additions. They got Ricky Rubio back, and then they drafted Anthony Edwards, number 1 pick in the draft. They lost James Johnson. That's the only guy they really lost. They re-signed Malik Beasley, and Juancho Hernan Gomez. So I'll let you start with Minnesota.
I wish Anthony Edwards got drafted to a different team because this is not the team for him that for us to see what he really has because he's not going to have the ball in his hands on this team. He's just not. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is going to have the ball in his hands, and then Karl Anthony Towns is going to have the ball in his hands an awful lot. And I think Anthony Edwards, based on what I saw in college, has the potential to be. I don't want to say LeBron because that's stupid. Nobody's LeBron, but
Yeah.
Ben Simmons with a 3-pointer. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Like
Wow.
a triple-double type guy who can score. He's got length. He's built, and he could shoot. He can pass. He can do it all. I really like him, but unfortunately, on this team, would you agree that we're probably not going to see the most of him?
He's going to be coming off the bench, right, for the first year, or are they going to put him in the starting lineup?
I don't know any team that drafts someone number 1 overall and brings
and
him
then
off
they
the
got
bench.
him coming off the bench.
Doesn't make much sense. And who's starting over him? Beasley?
Yeah, Beasley. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'd start Anthony Edwards day 1 over Beasley. And I'd probably listen. I'm stupid though, because if I'm playing NBA 2K, I mean, right, I'd trade D'Angelo Russell if I'm the Timberwolves. And Anthony Edwards he's my ball handler day 1.
Him and Towns are good friends, right? Russell and Towns.
Yeah, but I'm putting the keys right in Anthony Edwards' hands day 1. You're my guy.
I mean, well, can't they all get along? I mean, you got 3.
But D'Lo is ball dominant, don't you think?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely a shoot first point guard. There's no question.
Well, but he can also get assists. He can get assists, but he's going to have the ball in his hands.
But they added Ricky Rubio too, though. That's the other thing.
That's weird.
So is D'Lo playing the 2 then? Because if you got Rubio
coming off the bench,
wow, I thought they would for surely be starting Rubio.
No, he's been coming off the bench preseason.
He's just not your prototypical guy that comes off the bench. Usually,
that's what I guess he just took that step. I guess he just made the choice in his career that now they traded for him, right?
Yeah, yep. He got traded. Well, he got traded to Oklahoma City, right? And then he got traded back to Minnesota. So it's kind of weird.
Listen, it happened with Jeff Teague. He eventually became a bench player. So now maybe it's happening with Rubio.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, he is kind of, what is he, 28, 29 now? He's probably up there.
20s? Yeah, he's 30.
Is he 30?
Yeah, he's 30.
Okay.
So let's real quick. They're starting D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Josh Okogie.
Okay.
Jake Layman. And Carl Towns. And they are bringing Anthony Edwards, Jarrett Culver, Rubio, and Hernan Gomez off the bench. And Naz Reid may get some minutes.
Okay.
Anthony Edwards should be in that starting lineup. Can we agree on that? And maybe he will be. But...
I hate to say it, but their 2 through 4 is weak. Super weak. I mean, Okogie, I don't know. He's a good defense player.
Beasley's not bad.
No, he isn't. He isn't bad.
Yeah, and Okogie can defend. But Anthony Edwards should be starting over Jake Layman. That's where it should be. Yeah, go ahead.
36 and 46.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to say even worse. I'll say 34 and 48. Until they make Anthony Edwards the prime ball handler on this team, I think they're losers.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Towns, I don't know what the deal is with that guy. They haven't been the same since Jimmy Butler called them out.
It's true. It all went downhill from
there. And Wiggins is not even on the team anymore, so. Anyways.
Right, so we agree.
Yeah. Let's go next team. We both agree they're not going to the playoffs. Next team, Oklahoma City Thunder. Notable additions, Al Horford, George Hill, Ty Jerome, Trevor Ariza, Kenrich Williams, Frank Jackson, Darius Miller, TJ Leaf, who I think just got released. Alexei, I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, Pakusevsky, and Theo Maledon. Notable subtractions, Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, Steven Adams, Dennis Schroeder, Nerlens Noel, Terrence Ferguson, and Abdel Nader.
Boy, talk about a fucking read.
That's a lot. Wow. So you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's clearly a hell of a player. You got Darius Bazley. Yep.
He's good.
Lugetz Dort, right? They got him too, right?
Yeah, but he sucks.
Dude, who was the guy? He had a 30-point game in that playoff game against Houston, didn't he?
Yeah, that made up for his 0 for 20 in all the other games.
Ugh. This team is old. Like, they got old. I mean, clearly George Hill's getting traded. Clearly, he's not going to be.
This is going to be one we disagree on. So go ahead.
I mean, isn't Al Horford getting traded too at some point? I mean, I would imagine. I'll say they go 21-61.
Whoa! Oh my goodness! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. They're.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. They're cleaning the cupboard on this team.
Teams in NBA history.
Man, they're going to be bad. They're going to be bad. I mean,
wow.
you lost Gallinari and Schroeder and Chris Paul. I don't see it. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's freaking top 25, I think, this year as far as fantasy goes. But whoa, I'm not that high on Basley. Okay? Let's hear it. Let's hear what you got to say here. I'm kind of intrigued.
I think that they're a team that is going to. I think they're going to sneak into the 8th seed.
Oh my gosh!
I'll tell you why. I think they're going to finish 43-39, and I think that they're going to sneak into the 8th seed because I think that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, number one, now does not have to deal with Chris Paul being the point guard. He's the point guard. He's going to have the ball in his hands every play, and he was really good on the Clippers. And he took a jump even last year on the Thunder, even though Chris Paul was the primary ball handler. I think you're going to see Shai Gilgeous averaging almost Trae Young-like numbers this year.
But he plays defense.
With the defense, he's better than Trae Young. And we're going to see it right now. He's
more of a complete package.
To the full potential. We haven't seen it. Baisley is also really good. He's a guy who's going to he can get you 10 rebounds, maybe not average it, but he can get you 10 rebounds. He can step back and shoot the three. He's a really good player. And maybe he's a little young to, I guess maybe he's not going to take a full step because he's young, but I think he's really good. And I think George Hill and Al Horford fit on this team because they're not taking the ball away from the young guys, but they're going to help mold them. And they're still at points in their careers where they can provide something. Horford may be 34, but he had a really good preseason. I don't know if you followed them at all.
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping track of them. I think it's funny now that Billy Donovan's not there anymore and Horford just arrived.
Off the bench, they have a decent bench because this guy Theo Maledon, I don't know if you've seen him at all.
Not much.
Bro, go look at this guy's stats in the preseason. He looks fucking good. He looks really good. And he's gonna be their backup scoring guard. He looks really good, and
you should go pick him up in fantasy
if he's available. I will.
I think he is.
Because I was looking through. I made a couple moves today, but if he's available, I'm gonna go pick him up.
I thought he was. I don't think anyone had him.
Listen, and this guy Pokusevski has had a good preseason. Kenrich Williams is a solid role player who can play defense and step back and hit a three. Hamady Diallo, another solid 3-and-D guy. This is not a bad team. I'm telling you, they're going to surprise people. And
they surprised people last year, though.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be an all-star this year.
Who's their coach? Unless they got some Nick Nurse type coach.
No, they got a notable coach. Who is their coach? Let's see.
I don't see it. Where's the scoring going to come from?
Mark Dignol. I don't know who he is. He was an assistant.
Yeah,
I think made him head coach. I just think this could almost be a Miami Heat type esque team where
you just get all these guys that just start coming out of the woodwork and start.
Yeah, because they're
shining.
So young. Okay, maybe I'm a year off or 2 years off, but this is such a good young team. Diallo's good. Baisley's good. Gilgeous is good. Dort could get hot. And then you squeezed in Ariza, Horford, and George Hill to mold these guys.
Yeah,
I'm going to pick up Theo Maledon. I'm telling you.
Man. I just don't see it. Like, they don't have enough scoring to me. George Hill looked He looked kind of washed in the bubble last year. I
Just
think his
remember,
best.
just remember Maladon,
Okay. All right.
because he looks really good, and he is taken in our league.
But he is.
Yep.
Who's got him?
Hurry up and shoot.
Oh, of course. He must have just gotten him. By the way,
Joshua
that's
Roberts.
dude. Anybody who has like a big preseason game, that guy's all over him.
Yeah, somebody also just picked up Emmanuel Quickly, who had a great preseason game.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep. I don't judge that though. Those guys could be
but
a lot of those guys.
Maladon is going to be their sixth man. He's getting the minutes. He's getting those.
They don't have anybody.
Damn, you're really down on them.
I am, man. They're gonna.
They have. Okay, Diallo's a good bench player.
I don't think he's that good. He's very inconsistent. Him and Terrence Ferguson were so bad
off the bench.
They were so bad they could not decide who would get the minutes. And then you get this Lugetz, Dort, and Basley that kind of came in there.
Forget Dort, but Basley is good. I'm telling Basley is the second best player on this team.
I don't know if he's better than. I say Horford would be their second best, but
Horford. You know what? Horford can go fuck himself too.
Well, George Hill can go. He wanted to do more things than play basketball.
Don't compare George Hill to Al Horford, okay? We paid Al Horford a lot of fucking money. A lot of money.
Can I just say that George Hill is our best point guard when last time the Bucks played the Celtics in that playoff series?
So
we had to. That was it, though. That was it. That was the end of George Hill. Like, he just wasn't the same.
Let's see, because this is definitely my craziest prediction. I think the OKC Thunder finish.
You're throwing a Hail Mary right now. You're either going to be a genius, or you're going to be like.
Well, listen. If they don't do it, we'll never remember. But if they do it, we'll definitely remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is your Will and James right here, which it could be.
Will and James. I don't know if they were exactly underdogs. But...
No, I don't think they were. I think I kind of.
This team,
I think, yeah.
This team, your prediction is probably more likely than mine. I'm going to be honest. It's probably more likely that they finish with 25 wins.
I mean,
because they're young. Could they be
I'm just trying to
in the
think.
league? I mean,
okay, so if they get to that point, that guy is winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
When you take a bunch of no-namers and you're putting them,
but I think they're a good defensive team. They're a good defense.
I'll agree with you with
George
SGA.
Hill's a good defender.
SGA is going to be, I mean, he's going to be an absolute beast. And he's a very good piece to build around.
You don't think George Hill's a good defender?
No, I do. I do. I just worry about his age.
Horford's a good defender as well.
He's another guy that's up there in years. But yes, I agree with you.
Basley is a tremendous defender. I don't know if you've seen enough of him. He's a tremendous defender. This is not, and Dort is, what the fuck is Dort even doing on the court? He better defend.
He had that 30-point game. He starts for them. Well, new coaching staff, though.
Get over that one game.
In the playoffs. But I think he also lost them a game too, though.
He did. Remember, he was like 0 for like 15, but he kept shooting.
Yes. Well, did he make like a key turnover or he threw it away or something? I can't even remember. Something that Houston series.
He looks like a dope. He doesn't have a good look. He looks like an idiot.
We better move. Yeah, we better move on to the next
bad.
game.
Okay.
No, that's fine. That's an interesting prediction. I can't wait to see if that.
I like this team for fantasy perspective as well.
And
but go ahead.
All right. Next team. I believe it's the last team in the.
No, I think you got two more.
Let's see. We talked about OKC. We talked about Minnesota,
Portland, and Utah.
Denver. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Portland's up next. All right. So they added Robert Covington, Derek Jones Jr., Enes Kanter, Harry Giles III. They lost Trevor Ariza, Hassan Whiteside, and Mario Hezonja. They re-signed Rodney Hood and Carmelo Anthony. It's like every other year with the Portland Trailblazers. I think this team is their best team they've ever had.
Why?
I like the signings of Covington. I think Covington is huge for them. They were lacking a lot at that small forward position. Plus, they're going to get Zach Collins back. Plus, they're going to get Nurkic back for a whole year. Mm-hmm. Harry Giles, that was a good low key move. Like, guy that might still have something. Like, he's only 21 or 22. I don't know. I think this is their best team they're going to have ever. If they don't do, I think they have potential to win. Maybe this is my crazy, but I think this team could win 50 games. 50 and 32.
Where would that take it? Well, I guess we'll save that for the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have them being a top 4 team?
Yes.
Fair to say?
Yes. I think they could even get as far as beating the Nuggets. Okay. As far as winning this division, yes.
So their starting lineup's going to be Dame, CJ,
Yep.
Covington.
Yep.
Rodney
Probably. Maybe Collins. Zach Collins. When he's, I think
so
he's
he
coming back
in the preseason yet.
I don't think so.
So it's probably going to be either Hood or Derek Jones to start the season, unless Zach Collins is. I don't think Zach Collins is going to start right away. So it could be Hood or Derek Jones. Okay, whatever. Either way.
And then you got Nurkic at the 5, plus Nurkic at Giles
the 5. And then Gary Trent's a good great bench player.
Yep.
Then you got Giles, Cantor, Carmelo. Yeah, this is a good team.
Yeah, this is their best team they've ever had.
I would agree. This is the best surrounding cast they've ever given Lillard and McCollum.
Yeah, Covington's going to be huge.
Covington makes a massive difference. Yep. He's so good. He's the perfect 3-and-D guy. Perfect.
Yes, and he could defend centers too.
He could defend any spot on the
court. Anybody. This is their best defender they've ever had on this team. That was always their weakness, right? I mean, they never had a defender.
It's also another guy that can hit a 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, I hope this team's on TV a lot because I
they look exciting on paper. So you have them at 50 wins.
I think with potential to even beat the Nuggets in the division. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm cool with that. Like, I'm gonna also give them 50 wins, maybe even more, 52 and 30. I think they're going to be a really good team.
Look at that bench; they're loaded.
I think this is an awesome regular season team. I don't know about the playoffs. I don't know if it translates. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to win a title with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum chucking along the way. I just don't know. The playoffs, I mean, the playoffs are so much different than the regular season. It's just different. It's a different game.
Covington, though, I really like that move. Like, I think that is a playoff type move. I think they're at least going to get.
That is absolutely a playoff type move.
Yep. And he's a guy that's going to be paid big dividends for them in the playoffs. And then Zach Collins, we don't know what we're going to get out of him. He could just be a monster.
True. That's true.
He could be a monster.
He's better than Whiteside. So
yes. And then healthy Nurkic all year.
Okay, so we'll save our playoff prediction. So I'm going to say 52 and 30. I think this is a top 3. I think this is a top 3 team in the West.
I think so. They are. Like, if the Lakers have any type of issues, this team could sneak up on them. Mm-hmm. I really do. They got one. They beat them once in the bubble, but this team is so much better than what they had last year. So, yeah. All right. We're kind of on the same page with them. Utah Jazz, final team in the division here. They got back Derek Favors. Udoka Azubuike. Don't know who that is, actually. He might be a rookie for all I know.
He was on Kentucky last year.
Okay. Yeah, see, I only really watch Marquette, so Tony Bradley. They lost Tony Bradley and they lost Ed Davis. They re-signed Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson. They're going to get Bogdanovich back. Remember, they didn't have him in the bubble. Mm-hmm. I think that was a tough loss. This team, they're obviously good.
Yeah.
I mean, Conley, Mitchell, Bogdanovich. I don't
Royce
even know
O'Neal
this.
and Rudy Gobert.
Okay, so Favors is coming off the bench then.
I think Favors is benched now.
Okay,
It looks like Ingles, Clarkson, and Favors are coming off the bench.
That's a solid bench.
Very solid bench.
Wow.
And then Gordon Niang.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's okay. This is a sneaky team too. Like I could see Denver if like Denver had a really bad year. I could see Utah even beating them.
Yeah,
But
man, I'm with you. I'm with you on this
I don't
one
know
too.
what it is. Like Denver, I'm not. Yeah, like I could see. Okay, Utah could go. I'll say just to be like generous, I'll say 48-34, but I could totally see them winning 52.
So can I.
Yep.
So can I. I'm with you
Yep.
on this one. I'm
They
with you.
just.
I'm gonna say that this could be. I think the 1 and 2 seeds, but you know what? Even the Lakers could run into some trouble. We don't know how many games LeBron's going to play.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they're a team that's going to be satisfied. Just they're not worried about a home court advantage.
No.
So they're a team that's just satisfied finishing 5th, 6th, 7th. The Lakers. I don't think they're going to be the 1 seed this year.
No,
And I think
don't think so.
I think Utah or somebody like Portland is going to come out of nowhere and could be the 2 or maybe even 1 seed. I really do. Like Utah's a team that's been good for years, and they've kept the same core.
Yep.
I'm gonna go out on another crazy limb, but I'm gonna say that Utah finishes first in the conference.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they go like. I mean, I know we're saying 82 games, but I don't know what would be a first place 56 and 26.
6. Yeah. I just I don't really like Royce O'Neal being in that lineup, but
it's okay because you can have one guy in the starting lineup that's not like
not great, right?
But he's a good
Right.
defender. He's a scrappy guy, and you don't need
Yeah.
everybody in the starting 5 to shoot. So
That's true.
he's the one guy in that starting lineup, and then it gives you the ability to bring Ingles, Clarkson, Favors all off the bench, which is pretty solid.
Yes. Clarkson's a scorer. I mean, Ingles, he's a solid player coming off the bench. Yeah, they're a good team. They got a lot of depth, even getting Favors back.
But okay, I'm saying they're going to finish first, but that doesn't mean I have them. That does not mean I have them going all the way by any stretch.
Well, they don't have enough scoring. I think that's what they always run
they're
into.
missing
right?
one thing. They're still missing one thing. I don't know what it is, but they're missing something.
Yep. Another star.
Is that it for that division?
Yep, that's the end of the Pacific. So you got Utah winning the division.
Yeah.
I got Denver just to be safe, but Portland at 2. I got Utah at 3. And then I got Memphis at 4. And then not Memphis. Minnesota. I got Minnesota at 4 and Oklahoma City at 5.
Okay, so I have Utah at 1, Denver at 2. Okay, see it. No? Shit, I got 4 of these teams making the playoffs. That's going to be tough. That's a tough sell. Yeah, that's a tough sell.
Yeah.
But I guess in order, I would probably go Utah, Denver, Portland, OKC, and Minnesota.
All right.
Let's go to close out the West?
Yeah. Let's close out the West, and then we'll go our 2 divisions. That's fine. Okay. So we're going to the Pacific here.
Yeah, I think you're on the same thing as me, so you're probably gonna have Golden State first.
Yep, Golden State will be the first team, I believe. Yep, Golden State, and you got the 2 LA teams, Sacramento and Phoenix. So, all right, so Golden State Warriors, they added Kelly Oubre Jr., Kent Bazemore, Brad Wanamaker, James Wiseman, Nico Mannion. They drafted Nico Mannion. They lost Kai Bowman, and they had no notable re-signings. Clearly, Clay going down here, that hurt. That hurt a lot. But they do got Wiseman, but he's a rookie. Like, I don't know how much of an impact he's gonna have an impact compared with what they had.
Have you heard that he doesn't really want to be on this team? Did I hear that?
He didn't want to get drafted to the Timberwolves. I remember that.
Well, James Wiseman has not played in the preseason,
Yes,
and
he's in.
I
Yep.
don't, I don't even know if he's attended any practices. I heard some negative things that he doesn't really want to be on this team, but I don't know.
Seriously?
I didn't. Yeah, I heard.
That's
I
kind of
read.
weird. He'd be perfect on this team, right? I mean, they don't have a center. I don't understand that one bit.
Yeah, no. It looks like now that Steve Kerr is saying James Wiseman will be Warriors starting center soon. So it looks like they're on okay terms.
Yeah. Like, that doesn't really make sense because...
James Wiseman says Draymond Green constantly yelling at him.
Oh. Wait, is he already... Oh, yeah. Okay. Didn't Steve Kerr have to talk to him about Draymond Green or something? I think I read something that you can't take what he says
If I
to
was
heart.
on this, I would not respect Draymond Green. And this has nothing to do with him making fun of Paul Pierce. Yes, it does. I hate Draymond Green. And I wouldn't respect him. I don't give a shit what he has to say.
Yeah.
He's overrated.
I'll say this team's 30-52. What are you going to go?
Wow.
I know.
You have them that bad.
I don't know what it is. I don't think they're that.
Yeah, I don't have them much better. I'll say 35-47.
I mean, Kelly Oubre. I mean, they do got Wiggins. I forgot about Wiggins. They got him
Wiggins
too.
He's a bum.
Yeah, he's not that good. What do you got? 37-45?
35-47.
Oh, 35-47. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we'll move on. Losing Clay. That was their. I think this team's done. Like, I think they're done. Like, their reign of terror is over. Like, even if Clay came back, I still don't think they're championship team anymore. Do you agree with that?
No, yeah, I don't agree with that, but I think
I
think if Clay played, they'd be a 500 team.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think, like, Stephen Curry's 32 now. He's not always the healthiest player
Clay
either.
Played, you still think they'd be below 500?
I think they'd be above, but I think they're like low 44, 38 maybe.
Okay.
They're not even the same team. They're not even the same team when they won, before they had Durant. Like, they're not even that team anymore. Like, they're not Andre Iguodala. They don't have an Andre Iguodala or even a Harrison Barnes. Like,
no, you're right. They don't.
I mean, maybe you could say Barnes and Wiggins kind of, but I don't know. It depends how good Wiseman's going to be. He's kind of the X factor here.
Yeah,
so.
We don't really know. We haven't seen him do anything yet. So.
Exactly. But they don't have Clay this year. We know that. So I'm going 30-52. So, yep.
Okay.
All right. Next team, Los Angeles Clippers. Added Serge Ibaka and Luke Kennard. They lost Montrezl Harrell, JaMychal Green, Landry Shamet, and Rodney McGruder. They re-signed Marcus Morris Sr. So, wow, this is I'm not a huge fan of Tyronn Lue. I'll tell you that much. But he can't be any worse than Doc.
He is Doc.
Yeah, it's like they just went with the same type of coach. I don't know. I would have liked them to go after a better coach here. I think they would have. Honestly, though, I think Ibaka is going to be better for them come playoff time than they ever had in Harrell.
Agreed.
Yep, I think that's a good move there. Luke Kennard's not a bad guy to have.
Solid pickup.
Yep.
Very solid.
Yep. I think they're improved. As weird as that is, as bad as all the chaos that kind of went with them and, getting upset by the Nuggets last year. I think they're a better team this year. I'll say 54-28. Your pick.
I got 55-27. I'm not worried about this team at all.
They might beat they might win the division.
I think Denver may have been a better team than them last year. My problem with them is I don't believe in Paul George. That's my biggest issue with them. I'm not a believer, and the only question would be, can Kawhi Leonard make up for Paul George's slack in the playoffs, because he's not playoff P.
Yeah, that's true.
Just, but then again, he had good playoff performances with the Pacers.
Yes, he did. But it's
But
just like never translated since.
I am not writing them off just because they lost last year in 7 games to the Nuggets. That's not that big a deal. So
Right.
I got him. Yeah, I'm with you.
Plus, they I mean, I could see them winning this division. I think I'm going to actually pick them to win the division. So